30. Devotional Thoughts for Women, written by Monica Diaz, read by Belinda Sainsbury. Good morning, dear friends. Today, August 14th, our devotional is entitled The Best Way to Find Yourself. The best way to find yourself is to lose yourself in the service of others. Gandhi. Doctor in psychology and Christian pastor Bernardo Stamatias tells the story of a teenager back in the days when there were no CDs or MP3s. This teenager was in charge of the sound system at his church, and he was asked to duplicate cassette tapes with the sermons that were preached every week. One day he said, "I'm leaving this church because I was only asked to duplicate cassette tapes and I aspire to do greater things. I have gifts that are not being put to good use here." And with that kind of thinking, he left the church, never to return. Months later, a lady came to the church and told the pastor, "You don't know me, but I converted while listening to a cassette tape with one of your sermons. At that point, I was making the decision to have an abortion, but you talked about life and I decided not to do it. This here is my son." If that frustrated teenager had known what lay behind his service, would he have left? I would like to think there is no greater thing to aspire to than to save a human life. There's nothing small about serving others. In fact, it may be the path to our own vocation. Think of Elijah, God's prophet. He had someone who served him selflessly, Elisha. One day, Elisha received a double portion of the Holy Spirit to continue in his predecessor's steps. By losing himself in selfless service to God's prophet, Elisha found his way. Think about Jesus' disciples. They too lost themselves in serving the Master, and there they found their way. They abandoned their professions and followed Christ, becoming preachers of His love and shepherds of the newly formed flock. And just as the Master had foretold them, they did greater things than He had done because of their faith. John 14:12. A faith which, by the way, was developed through selfless service. Selfless service to others is the key to the Christian walk in more ways than what it seems to at first sight. But to discover them, we are to lose ourselves in it. Therefore, use your freedom to serve one another in love. Galatians 5:13. Truth is, we were born to contribute, just like our feet, hands, eyelids, and rows of upper and lower teeth. And contributing is the best way for each of us to find ourselves and one another. Use your freedom to serve one another in love. Galatians 5:13.